Check, check, check. If you're hearing the sound of my voice or watching this on YouTube, that means you're now tuned into another chapter of the Introverted Intuition Podcast. My name is Jeff. As always, I got my partners in this shit. Sour Skittles, Conscious Rap, CR. Say what's up to the people.
Yo. It's your boy, CR908, a.k.a. the birthday boy.
Hey.
B.K.A. the King of New Jersey. You heard me?
I feel like that needed more energy. Like, you're the birthday boy. It's the last of your 20s. Like, it's the last time you could be, like, obnoxious.
Right.
It's the King of New Jersey.
There you
You
go.
heard me?
There you go.
Like, what, nigga? You're...
All right.
What? What? Too
We'll
much?
take what we can.
You told me to, like...
Yeah.
You weren't as confident, I don't think.
You know why?
Towards the end, he was trailing down,
I'm starting to feel the fucking shot. Like, I'm a little slizzed. Look at that.
Already? What?
I didn't even finish it.
Did you
So
eat?
who am I?
Yo,
But yeah, that's true.
no, that shit was strong though.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it was a knockoff
Super
right
strong.
after.
The funk.
The fun-
But I like that.
I like the name,
That
but
was a crazy name.
for context, we took some shots before going live on the podcast, YouTube audience and audio audience.
My cup for anyone that's curious. Yes, I am pussy today. Oh, it's pussy. It's cat, literally. Pussy cat.
Pussycat. Before we get into this episode, we have a few sponsors we want to talk about, like we usually like to talk about. First is BetterHelp. BetterHelp is a service that provides online therapy. That means from the comfort of your own home. So if you've been considering getting therapy and you're not really into the idea of going back to the office with COVID, I think BetterHelp is a great alternative. So if you go to betterhelp.com/introvert, use the code introvert at checkout to get 10% off your first month. Again, that's betterhelp.com/introvert. Use the code introvert at checkout to get 10% off your first month and get the help you deserve. Therapy is a great medium to peace, as we've all talked about our experiences openly within the office space, without, and it's just a great way to just get through this shit, because I've been feeling in the wintertime shit's about to get crazy. So just be prepared mentally and be prepared financially in every way, and again, get the help you deserve. And we get into our next sponsor.
Yeah, just for this week, I just want to remind folks that I am still a part of S'morefest Music Festival, and those tickets are live, so you can go to s'morefestmusicfestival.com and get your passes today. Masego is the headliner. So
Amazing.
that's what I have for today.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like what was announced in the beginning of the episode, he announced himself as the birthday boy, the king of New Jersey,
You heard him.
JOTF's own CR908, a.k.a. Rodley Dort.
Damn. The whole government though?
Yeah, because they got to know who you are.
God damn.
But they got to know who they fucking with.
Remember the last time we were here and he was telling on himself about a lot of his criminal behaviors, and now we're
shit.
gonna tie the two.
We can just edit that out. Power of editing.
Great.
The power of editing.
All right.
How does it feel?
How does it fucking feel?
29 honestly feels right now like 28. Just because I was like, it's fresh. It's fresh. I usually don't feel my age until 4 months in. If that makes sense. Because
Like a year.
it's so fresh. It's like, okay, this is literally the tip of the ice, like the tip of 29.
Yeah.
Now, all the shit that comes with 29 is going to be coming. I know.
Get a little certain creaks in your back, knees start moving a certain way.
Well, I was thinking a little bit more optimistic. I was thinking about
mean,
finding love, possibly, and and furthering my career. But yeah. My bones are gonna start, cracking more, and I won't be able to eat spicy food anymore because of acid reflux. And so yeah,
I'm curious. Does everyone in this room go into specific goals or wants for themselves in a new year of life? Like, we'll start with you. Like, do you have any specific things you want by the time 30 rolls around?
Yes and no. So I have a range of things that I want to happen, but I would say like by 30, I would like to be in a relationship, but you can't force that. But it'd be nice because, it'd be nice to like meet that person right now. But if not, I would say that the only thing that really matters to me right now is just financial freedom, to be honest. Not to sound cliche or, but that really matters to me is just like my 30s, bro. I'm going to have that bag, like regardless of if I'm in a relationship or not. Like I'm trying to make sure that I buy my first property by the time I'm 30. Hopefully, like I said, I'm in a relationship by 30, further establish my businesses. Like that's really my goal. That's it. That's just it. Like I love music. I'm never gonna stop doing music, but I know that music's only gonna get better when I get more financially stable and more successful, because I'll be able to pour more into it. Because music's a luxury, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's a long-term investment. I have to focus on everything else that's working for me right now.
I think the music will get better because it's really a new chapter, like
Definitely
more
gonna
life experience.
sound better, yeah.
You're seeing more, you're hearing more.
I agree 110%.
You're pulling up on a new age soon.
I like the way he said that, and it's also like
Wait, that's wrong.
Pulling
you're
up
So am I,
pulling
though.
up before,
You're
yeah, but you
pulling
pulling up
up on
before
a new
me.
wave.
So why you making it seem like
all right,
That's
so
true too.
that is
like I'm
true.
the oldest in the fucking room?
Oh, my
That's
bad.
true.
Well, I'm
Whole neck.
my goal, honestly.
My neck be hurting already. I'm old. You clearly pointed that out.
I got out of bed a certain way one day recently. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel like things were in place.
Are you serious?
That shit hits you quick.
Yeah.
Oh hell no.
Things be like, you'll hear things popping and clicking, and you be like, I don't even know where that came from.
Ugh.
Right.
I mean, I do have that now. I ain't gonna hold you. I do. But damn, it gets worse.
That's what they say, but I guess it really depends how you took care of yourself in your 20s.
Yeah.
This is like the really pivotal time in our lives, I feel, to really be doing what we got to do to.
Hell yeah. I feel like it's now or never. That's why I'm going hard, because I feel like if I don't get in shape now, it's only gonna get fucking harder.
Yeah.
It's gonna get fucking harder. So I'm sacrificing right now. I'm saying I don't care, bro. I'm doing what it takes.
I mean, my goal for really every new year of life is just to be better than the last one in every way. Like whether it's something I can visually see, like looking at my account statements versus like 28, 29, like, or just physically, like I just want to be better. That's it. Every single day, I really have been striving, and every year, just trying to be better. Going into 30, you know, there's a certain stigma that I feel like that's put on 30-year-olds. Like, there's really no going back. Your youth is gone now.
And I hate that stigma.
Yeah.
Because we're young as fuck.
Yeah.
We're technically, we're kids, yo.
Yeah.
If you even think
We're
about,
big kids.
Yeah, we're big kids.
Yeah.
That's all it is. We're big kids. Because I've realized as I get older too, you look at like certain age groups and you're just like, wow, I really thought I was grown. And you're looking at like a 15-year-old or a 19-year-old, and you're like, yo, you look like a child. Like, but when you were at that age, you thought you were grown.
Look grown. Like, why am I getting carded? I should look like I'm like, no, you look like a fucking baby.
Can I tell y'all something funny? I used to I didn't understand why I couldn't bag strippers in the club when I was like 19, 20. I used to be like, yo, what's up? I was fresh. I had the little mustache, the little stubby. And then I got older, became a grown man, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like,
looking at the kids trying to hit on them.
And I'm like, bruh, you look like their little brother. Like, that's why. And it's funny because at that time I didn't realize, like, yo, they probably smelled the young and broke all over me. Like,
young, impressionable, and they gonna take advantage of your ass. That's what they fucking smell.
Can I tell you something embarrassing?
I believe it's something.
I knew that I was looking young, so I tried to dress different to be grown. So one time I went there with a button up and some dress pants.
Fucking Kango on.
No, I didn't have a Kango on, but I put on a little silver watch. I tried to dress like a nigga with money, but I probably looked even more broke. I was so dead ass too. I sat right at the bar, pulled out my $5 for my Corona. I'm like, yeah, let me get one with a lime. Get some singles.
You look like a nigga who borrowed his dad's clothes.
Yeah, like
I don't even know how I would react if I saw a nigga look like that in a strip club.
And I was dead ass. I was like, what's up?
It's the dead assery for me because I feel like a lot of men are very dead ass, and on the other end, it's just like, no, you were dead ass. Like, this was a thought that made sense in your head, and you decided to act on this thought, and no one talked you out of it.
I had a whole,
not a one.
I had a whole plan. Like, I'm gonna wear this shirt, these pants, these dress shoes. I'm gonna look like I got money. I'm gonna walk in here, look like I'm older.
And you were the last one to figure out that you look dumb.
Yeah.
Like,
and it wasn't 2 years later.
Right.
How'd you finally figure it out? Did someone tell you, or did you just look back and be like...
I went back to the strip club as an adult with my boys, and we did it right. And I realized, like, nigga, you was way off. First off, you had no money.
I mean, yeah,
that's number one.
Would have been the first.
Didn't have any money.
Yeah,
didn't have any money. Second of all, like, I dressed like a cornball. Like, I was trying to impress people or trying to act like something I wasn't. It was so obvious. Like, what the fuck? Like, I can imagine. They was like, yo, who's the church boy? Like,
And you went by yourself?
that time, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
At night, during the day? I'm just really
It was at night. It was like an early evening. I was just like, you know what, fuck it. Let me see if I can get lucky.
Strip clubs during the day is really interesting. I went to one in like Atlantic City, and this is like
What was that like?
it wasn't how it was supposed to be. I don't think that was like that's probably like my second or third time going to a strip club. So I just thought like the perception I had at the time was that it was always popping. Like there was always the hottest girls on stage throughout all hours of the day. It's just different shifts, and they had this fucking
Well, there's
old white
different
lady
shifts.
with these saggy tits with like she had one nipple pierced. She had like corns on her feet, and it was just like I don't want to go back. I never really was the type of person that really gravitates towards.
Why'd
the
you
strip
see
club.
her feet?
Why she had no covers on her feet, no fucking socks on? You should be asking her. Don't ask me. Like
That don't sound crazy.
but I never was the type of nigga to like gravitate towards a strip club because I just feel like I'm just paying for blue balls. Like
Honestly, that was another thing. Once I got older and I actually started getting laid, I was just like, why am I here? Like,
Right.
what am I here for? But then I also realized that it could be just a regular, like, all right, so once I grew up and started not looking for pussy out of the club and just realized that some people come here just for fun, not just for sex, then I realized, oh, that's why you just come here and have a good time, get a section with your boys, blow money, and take good pictures and videos. Like, that's really all it's for. You know what I'm saying?
I always felt like getting a section with women would probably be more enjoyable than my niggas
It is.
I can imagine.
because I just feel like I don't know. You got the right women around, they'll gravitate towards the most attractive strippers. They all have fun. Man, I'm getting a free lap dance or something.
I can imagine. I've never actually been to a strip club with a woman though. I would love that. I would love to. I would love to try it, but I've never actually been. Correction, I have, but that was a performance, so it doesn't count. I was performing, and I had some of my friends with me, but
You did the strip club circuit with the name Conscious Rap.
bruh, I was lost. I was lost.
You was speaking about fucking poverty and shit in the strip club.
I had
Niggas is gonna relate. They gonna be in the strip club.
That's a fact.
I had different
Find your
songs
audience.
that I performed in those clubs. Okay, like I was not rapping about, but that's when I realized that strip clubs was not for me though, because it was just like, okay, I don't really make music like this, so this doesn't make sense. Like, why would I come here to perform? And it was, early in my career when I was just trying to find myself, so I was just trying anything. And then but you know what? It made me have confidence because I remember one time I was performing at a strip club and there was basically nobody there except my people. And it was like literally like 6 people. And I still performed like I was at Madison Square Garden.
As you should.
I killed that shit. Like, I had fun. And it just showed me that was not my environment. Like, it wasn't. Then after that's when I started really dedicating myself to organizing my own shows. And that's when Jersey's Got Talent was born and all of that whole series came.
You've had quite the journey leading up to 29, sir. And it's not over yet.
It's not over, bro. It's been one hell of the 20s have been my hardest, yo. Like, I've been through the most. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody, right? Everybody's been through the most in their 20s. Made the most mistakes in my fucking 20s, yo.
What advice would you provide to probably a 19-year-old transitioning into their 20s?
Save your fucking money. Stop. Like, have fun, but don't blow your shit. Like, just save your shit, yo. I know those fucking Jordans or those Yeezys or whatever the fuck looks really good right now, but I'm telling you, just save your fucking money and learn how to invest and flip your money. Like, I know it sounds so cliche, but I'm big on financial literacy. I'm big on money. I'm big on finance because had I known everything I know now, I'd be so much further. Not saying I have any regrets. Life is life. But had I known everything I know now, my nigga, I don't know. I don't want to cap right now, but I probably would be retired, yo. Just because of the shit that I know now. But that's what I would say. Save your fucking money. Keep going to the gym. Don't stop.
Big facts.
Big facts. Don't stop. And watch what the fuck you eat, because it burns off now, but trust me, the shit'll stick to your ribs, literally.
Right.
So I would say just develop healthy skills. Take care and maintenance your body while it's still fresh. Don't wait till your shit is deteriorating and you're overweight and sick. Start taking care of yourself now because you won't have those issues later. That's all I can say. It's just think about later. Enjoy being young, but think about later.
What would you say to the young girls out there, Skittles, the young black girls who, you know?
I'm about to be like, don't be like me. Just kidding. I'm not all bad. Very similar to CR. And I think it's because I've heard it before. I think it's try to ensure you're understanding what like people are saying to you, because like you can say like save your money, invest your money, like it doesn't.
We've heard it all.
We've heard all that
We've
shit.
heard
We
it
still all
all.
made damn near the same fucking mistakes. Like it's
Why
not
is that?
because it didn't click for us. Like everything I've been told in the past like decade didn't click for me until fucking yesterday, and then I just made like a fire move to give myself fucking financial freedom essentially. And when I did it and like broke down my new plan, and I was like, why did this never make sense to me all these years when people were essentially saying that to me? So if it wasn't making sense, like if people are saying something to you and you're hearing it a lot and it doesn't make sense and you keep trying it your way, like ask more questions.
Yeah.
Be more honest, be more open. And I think it wasn't, for me, I think it was literally me trying to prove myself right. And then I realized how badly I was wrong. But sitting with it, like, you learn sooner rather than fucking later. So literally how you said, like, I could be better off, but I'm not in a bad place. That's how I had to look at it this week. Like, I could be better off. Probably would have been better off, but I'm not in a bad place, and I'm still better than most that I know.
Exactly.
So I'm still doing it okay.
Yeah.
Now I got a better understanding. Now I can teach it to others who maybe it doesn't click the same way, like it didn't click for me. Like now I know how to explain it. Now I know how to guide. Now I know how to help. So that, and I really think it's continue not making those mistakes, continue doing all of the things you can do and you have the capability and freedom to do. Like test everything out that you want to test out to see what makes sense to you. Because I feel like we get scared also of like trying new things or exploring new things, but we keep having a wish or a desire. You can try it out and realize it's not for you, or you could try it out and absolutely fucking suck at it and be like, at least I know.
At least you know.
I'm never going to wonder anymore. I'm never going to be like, oh, I wonder what it was like to go to that place.
Yeah.
And you went to that place and you hated that experience. Okay, but now I know. Now I know that's not the place for me. So I think it's have as many fucking experiences as you can have and let those experiences help like shape you instead of mold you in like a negative aspect, if that makes sense. I don't know. I feel like it was a long-winded advice.
Yeah, I feel like when we're young and impressionable, like we get caught up in like the perceived importance of like a status symbol, a car, a pair of shoes, like kind of what you said. And just to elaborate off of that or continue off of that, it's just don't let that shit get to you because it's not life. Like
So
I feel like because we're so impressionable, and it's kind of a part of our routines in some way. Watching music videos, watching YouTube videos, we feel like that's what we should be working towards to achieve. But like, there's a whole life out there. Like, there's so much more things that's more important for you to focus on. And personally, what I would tell my younger self, for real, is you're not your experiences. So I feel like in my past, in my younger self, I would wear my experiences, my negative experiences, like a shield, like armor. Like I feel like they dictated me. I feel like they made me who I was. But if I just had the wherewithal and the understanding that these things pass, like and it happened already, so it's like there's no need to really linger on it. I would just tell myself to just let go and move forward much quicker than you may have done it. But that's also a part of what you said. Like that's part of a mistake. Like allow yourself room to make those mistakes because you'll learn much, maybe not faster, but you'll learn way more.
yeah.
Or look at your mistakes as experiences now. Like,
There you go.
That's
yeah, it
the
was a
way.
mistake,
There
but
you
guess
go.
what I learned in this mistake? I had an
That's-
experience of
that's
this.
grown.
Or I think the best thing that one of my worst bosses ever said to me, ironic, that statement, is your 20s are your freshman year of life. Your 30s are your sophomores. Your 40s are your juniors. Your 50s are your seniors. And then like beyond that, God bless. Like you're still here and you're making it through.
Yeah.
And I think like ever since he had said that, I might have been 22 at the time, and now being 29, and every year I still looked at it like, no, this makes sense. Like, no, this makes sense to me. This makes sense to me. Because if you think about it, like in your early 20s, I was going through my clothes at my parents' house, and I pulled out this dress that I used to swear I was the fucking shit wearing it to the clubs. And I'm like, really, bitch? Like, this was your fucking attire. You did this on weekends. You put on heels that you hate. Like, you really tried to prove yourself. And now I go out in my fucking Crocs, and I'm like, I wish a nigga would tell me I don't look cute today. Like, fuck you. My Crocs are lit.
Right.
And it just shows like the difference of your mindset when you start getting comfortable in yourself. Like, by the time we were sophomores in college and high school, we didn't give a fuck about how we looked when we went to school. Like, I'm having a bad day. That's what it is. Y'all niggas know what I look like. I don't know.
I respect that. I think you do get more comfortable as you get older, just with everything, right? With yourself, with making your decisions, setting boundaries. I started to really set boundaries in my late 20s. Like, I was just like, yo, there's certain things that's not for me. Like, I have certain rules. Like, one rule that I have, just as an example, any of my friends want to come through, do not bring somebody that I've never met to my house, and I'm not meeting them for the first time at my house.
Right.
Like, that's just me. Because if I don't like them, now they're in my house and I have to be around them. Like, I can't just be like, well, you know what? I'm not really vibing. Can you leave? Like,
I would get the fuck about my house.
you know, right? Like, but it's just so awkward. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't like the first time meeting anybody to be at my house. Because, you know, I love hosting and like having people come through. I know I haven't invited the New Yorker yet.
I'm not gonna, whatever. Kicked out the video. Can't even go to the house. It's crazy over here. But it's your birthday, so I'm gonna be nice. Yay!
But tomorrow you'll hear about it. In depth. In depth.
It's 12:01 tonight.
Yeah.
So let me I just find it funny how
Better get a long ass text message.
the fucking paragraph shits that I know you niggas love to read.
Oh, yes.
I prefer voice notes nowadays. I'm not gonna lie. Don't text me all that shit.
Same.
Because now your fingers hurt, and now I'm mad, and I gotta read it. So we're both losing.
I'm not gonna lie. I enjoy the long text because I feel like I'm a writer. I like giving them and I like receiving them because I feel like in that moment you're saying everything you want to say, specifically, strategically. It's been placed how you wanted it, and I prefer that. Because sometimes when we do the voice notes or talk in person, we kind of skip over. We get caught up in emotion. We might stumble over our words, whatever. But I take more time to articulate exactly how I feel when I write it.
Oh, never mind. I'll just be like, and fuck you. And fuck, no, you, why? Oh, fuck it.
That's true. And you can't take back what you said in the voice note. You can't like go back and delete it. You just gotta, whoever's receiving it gotta accept it. But I don't know. I feel like I'm more comfortable speaking as opposed to surprisingly writing. At certain times when I'm passionate about something, I feel like I'm easier to understand that way too when I'm speaking because you hear my tone of voice. You're not gonna like look at that but okay in a period and think anything different. But if I say it, you may be able to perceive it a bit easier.
And I also don't articulate well, which I realize via text. Like, I think it's because I think about it so much in my head that I'll spew out like simple details and people will be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
But it's so abstract. It's just like we don't know what you're saying.
Basically. So it's like, oh, wait.
Because when you read it, you're filling the gaps in your head.
Right. And I'm like, everyone else can do the same. And they're like, actually, no, you just text me this. And I was like, oh, yeah. So this is exactly what I meant. Let me just talk it through.
Yeah. It's funny though, like we're about halfway through the year. Do you guys notice any noticeable differences in maybe yourselves personally or in your lives that you can pinpoint and maybe highlight? Because I think it's important for people who may be going through maybe some times that are a bit, I don't want to say worse, but some people are down on the luck right now and they may need to hear some positivity, some positive highlights from our lives that they can possibly use in their own lives to bring them into the second half of the year.
One thing I can say, bouncing off what Kat was saying, like when you start perceiving all your failures as lessons, I know it sounds cliche, but it's really true. Your life gets so much fucking easier. Like I remember when I was younger, my dad said, yo, man, life gets harder when you get older. In a way, it's true, but in a way, it's not because I look at it like this. Yes, the challenges change with every year and every decade. But if you're challenging yourself and you're becoming more intelligent, you're learning more, you're gaining more resources, if you're perceiving life like that, then I'm telling you, you're going to be good. Like, I feel like you keep building your utility belt with as much as possible. and you just have that problem solver mentality, and life gets easier. Like there's shit that I used to be tripping about in my early 20s that now if it happened to be like, nigga,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
hit this blunt, relax. Like, you feel me? Like, chill out. You feel me? So it's just like, I think that's one of the biggest things I could take from this whole journey is just like, yo, as I gotten older, certain things just ain't a big deal no more. I just don't worry about certain things anymore. It's just like,
You react different. And I think that's a huge lesson. And a lesson one of my friends was speaking to me about recently. And I was also speaking to another friend, well, trying to speak to another friend about that recently. Like, we can't always control how people are going to act. And then we sometimes have an obligation to respond or react. But, like, we're in control of our reaction. So at what point and in what stance does one person deserve a reaction that takes energy from you? Like, who deserves certain energy reactions? Because people will purposely try to get a
Yes,
reaction
they will.
out of you for a thrill, to paint a storyline. So when you go against what they're expecting and you pull like a different chess move, it leaves them there like, well, my little tantrum behavior isn't working, so let me try. And then the other person ends up looking ridiculous. Like, do you know how ridiculous you look right now? Like, you put on this whole charade. But I chose not to give you the reaction you were looking for. So now you look like Boo Boo the damn fool with this episode. So you go ahead. But, you know, when you're done, you want to sit down and talk like adults. The big kids table is over here.
yes, I feel that. Like that, I feel that right now. It's just like you let other people act crazy. You just have this like composed perception on things where it's just like, I'm not gonna waste my energy. I'm chilling.
And it doesn't mean you're pussy, because if a nigga steps to me wrong,
Right.
oh, we are
Right.
going toe for toe.
Of
Right.
course.
There's a certain line that has to be crossed in order for me to get a real reaction.
Yeah.
Right.
When it gets disrespectful, I learned how to like separate the line this year, particularly between like my passion and my purpose. I think passion is like a selfless thing. Purpose is for the people.
That's well said. Say it again.
Right. One more time.
One more.
Passion is selfish. Purpose is for the people.
You know what he gives me whenever we make him like repeat himself? You know, when like a little kid does something cool in front of their parents, they're like, baby, say that one more time.
they get
Your mom can't
nervous.
hear you. And they're like,
He definitely acts like that.
I did a little thing.
I guess.
I definitely do. But it's just like, for the longest of times, I was wondering, like, I've been like in a space where it's just like, is everything I'm doing satisfying me fully? And I've had moments where it's like, I don't think so. But I know I've seen the reaction, like tangible reactions. Like to our most recent episode with Mac, one of the clips, that was our most watched clip on TikTok. It went crazy. And just seeing the reaction, like the people appreciating the dialogue, it kind of clicked in my mind, because like this podcast is an extension of my purpose. And it's like, if we didn't create the content to be able to and create that clip and post that, people wouldn't have gotten that reaction. People wouldn't have gotten just that thought to like something different than whatever they were stressing about maybe an hour before, you know?
I agree.
And it just made me just feel even more appreciative that I created a space like this and continue to create content like this and just continue to extend upon my purpose for the people. Because I know, like, I really truly believe, I know for a fact that my purpose in life is to help, heal, and inspire. And I can only do that for myself for so long, so it has to go to other people.
Absolutely.
And it feels really, really good. And thank you to Mac, like, the listens and downloads are going crazy on the episode. I think that's actually one of our most popular episodes of this year.
Yo, we so fucking lit.
And it's definitely a testament to him, because he killed it, you know?
Yo,
And of
he
course
did a
us,
great
like,
job.
so it just feels good to know that we're making a difference in some way, to know what this isn't all for naught, even though like the return on investment financially still hasn't come, which is frustrating. But I know if we just keep progressing organically and, you know, intentionally, that will come. So I just think I truly believe focusing on your purpose is your passion and your purpose are intertwined, but don't let your passion guide you, because your purpose is bigger than you 9 times out of 10. 10 times out of 10.
So, would you say your purpose is more important than your passion?
I think so, because yeah, I do.
Explain that.
'Cause like I said, I think your passion is really selfish. I think it's really just for you and your own ego, to satisfy your own feelings and to make yourself feel proud of you. And I'm speaking for me.
I love this definition though.
I think for me, like, my selfishness is extended in more ways than I even realized at times. And most times I can really point out, or an extension of like my passion, like my things that me doing things that I just felt were like going to benefit me long term. I really, when you have that tunnel vision on your entrepreneurial goal, I feel sometimes you don't think about how what you're doing is affecting other people in your life, or how the perception of what you're doing may affect them. But I think if you move with like a purpose like minded like focus, I think you'll be able to bring more people in and have more people embrace you and accept you on that path. I think I feel like I'm talking a bit like misjointed right now. Like I'm trying to make it make sense. This is my first time saying this. I was thinking about this, so I'm trying to make it make sense. But
No, I just want
hopefully
you
you
to
guys are
double
following me.
down on the part where you're like people's perception and how it may affect them when you're on your entrepreneur journey.
Right. So I'm only speaking for me. When I was like wrapped up during my release of my book, my girlfriend, for instance, we weren't dating at the time, but we were getting to know each other. And I literally, like, every time we were about to make a plan to hang out, I curved that shit to focus on my book. And I think just that moment specifically was very selfish. Even though like I had genuine interest for this woman, I still was focusing on myself. Like I would have ignored text messages from my mom because I was focused on this. So I just think sometimes when we get so wrapped up on our passion, that tunnel vision just takes us away from reality. But a purpose-focused mindset, I feel, is more welcoming. It's more open to those in the circumference of your life. I think that makes sense. It makes sense in my head.
So, what do you think comes first? For what came first for you, your passion or your purpose?
I think the purpose comes first for all of us. I think just the acknowledgement of it is what guides us first. It slows down the process.
Because if you think back on your journey, can you sort of tie everything together like, oh, this makes sense for this, which ties into this, which ties into that, which here I am today.
Do you mean as far as, oh, I was interested in this when I was 13
Yes.
and I ended up doing this when I was 17. Now look what I'm doing now.
Yes.
So retrospectively,
Yes.
yeah, retrospectively speaking, you look
Really?
Retrospective Barbie.
right.
I love it. I
Shameless
used to be one of my
plug.
favorite stores when I was in Philly too.
That makes sense though. You look back on everything. I forgot where I heard this, but it's true. You can't. Sometimes you can't connect the dots until you're looking back.
Ooh, I like that line too.
It's
Yeah.
true.
I asked that because I say because it does make sense. Because when I played back, and it's funny because I feel like when you guys had interviewed me, I remember way back when it was like 3 months ago. It made me think of my journey. Like, why am I good at this? Like, why can't I speak to Black men about their emotions? Like, how and when did that begin? Like, how did I start getting there? Or how is what I'm doing for other creatives like Mac, like, possible? Like, how am I, not to be cocky or whatever, like, how am I good at this? Like, what makes me good at this? What did I do to get myself here? And then I think back to like, oh yeah, in high school, you were very interested in branding classes. Like you were excited to go to a class in high school, and it was on that. When you were in college, you did this. Like your friends told you this, and ta-da, today.
Right. We were being guided to where we're at today. Like there was no mistakes in any part
Right.
of our journey. So like going back to like the 20s, like the kids in the 20s, like everything you're doing is it's almost everything you're doing is meant for your overall benefit. There's a lesson in every experience.
Yeah.
I think that's also a deliberate perception you have to have, because if you're not deliberately and consciously having that perception, you're gonna miss the lessons, and you're gonna end up being one of those people who just feel that life sucks.
Victimized.
Yeah, life sucks. Everybody's against me. Fuck the system.
Caught up in the vacuum.
Yeah,
You're just another number.
yeah.
And that's what I meant with like, don't let those experiences define you, because we meet so many people there. Like misery does love company, and then people are attracted to those who have that energy that is like, this isn't going to define me. I am still going to overcome this journey, this battle, this new experience, this new part of my story. Like this won't be the defining part of my story. This won't be where my story ends.
Exactly.
And a lot of people don't have that. Like maybe it's because they don't understand their purpose, or maybe they never went on the journey to figure out what their purpose is.
And I think that's the biggest missing link for a lot of people in society, because they might come from a family where their purpose was given to them. They did not discover it, right? Because what I started learning, especially talking to different types of families, if you come from a family that has a family business, you're basically like, yo, this is what you're going to do when you're done with school. Like, you're coming to work for us.
Yeah.
Facts.
It's a lot of families like that. Like, these people that's why it's like, when we're on the outside looking in, and you might look at people driving in that Maserati or whatever, just not saying every situation, but in certain situations, you don't know what they had to sacrifice or trade to be in that Maserati, right? I'd rather my autonomy and my self-identity, individuality than to live in the shadow of my family doing what they want me to do in order to have money.
Right. They may have that Maserati, but they may not have the confidence. Like, they may not have the independence that like you do or we do. Like,
They literally might not have control over their lives.
literally, yeah.
Like, literally. Because that's another thing I realized too, especially with wealthy families, is that a lot of the times the people who run those families control the people underneath them with the money. They take care of their kids' bills, they supply them with everything, and put them in a position where it's like, damn, well, if I'm not loyal to dad, he's gonna, he's gonna take away the car. He's not gonna pay for the apartment anymore.
Yeah.
Did y'all see that clip of that guy on the Frontier Airlines? Like, it was this white dude, super rich, 22 years old. Yeah.
I heard about it.
He like grabbed one of the flight attendants like chest, like their boobs, and then
He was
like
groping her.
he started just going off, like saying, "My dad's a millionaire. Like, I'll have you all fired." Like, just pure entitlement. It's just disgusting shit.
Arrogant.
And it just reminded me, like what you're saying, just like reminded me of that. Like, there are literally people out there who feel because they come from a certain background with a certain amount of money in the bank account, they could just do whatever they want or act a certain way with no repercussions. And that nigga's like probably on the no-fly list now.
Yeah. And I mean,
So fuck you.
And he's on Frontier.
right.
Right.
But your
Just
dad's a
saying.
millionaire. Let's really talk about it.
Right.
You're on Frontier and your dad's a millionaire. Somebody's lying.
I'm
Right.
just saying. But, to circle back to that, I just feel like it's really important to just decipher between the two,
Discern.
That discernment is important.
Yeah. That's been my my journey, my struggle, discerning which thoughts I have are real, which moves are the best for me, and discernment. It's getting older, man. It just like it's just always gonna be a turbulent process. Life is just a turbulent process. It's not linear, and once you accept that, I think is when things start to become easier to deal with.
I think one of the challenges that people face when they're trying to find their purpose is that they don't listen to themselves.
They keep looking at others. They keep looking at others for what they want to obtain, and then just try to copy like step by step or what they assume that person would do, and then they don't realize why it fails for them. It's like because the moves that they're making works for them and the path that they're going. Right. If you copy those moves, it's not going to give you the same outcome.
Yeah, you're better off, honestly, just learning as you go.
Yeah,
to be honest. And once you accept it, like, yeah, you can have a plan and a guide, but you're better off just being flexible and just allowing yourself to adapt to whatever it is that you're going to have to try different things. When you're trying to find your purpose, you're going to try different things. You're going to you should try everything. You know what I'm saying? At least once, to say, like you said earlier, if you do something and you don't like it, you're never going to question if you would like that or not, because you did it already. It's like, all right, yeah, been there, done that, fuck it, I'm done. That's how I've gotten to where I'm at now at a young age, because I tried mad shit.
same.
Mad shit. Like, I've had like so many different types of jobs. I've been to so many different types of seminars. Like, I tried so many different things. That's why it's just like, yo, when people hit me up with the bullshit,
A mile away.
I smell it a mile away. I'm just like, yo, I'm good. No, thank you. Like, that's not gonna work. I did it. I know it's not gonna work.
Right.
Yeah, I've had that similar like life in terms of like jobs. I've done a lot of different things, but I don't think I don't think this is even a regret. I didn't like interact like socially like as much as I think I should have growing up. Whether it's the introverted nature, the shyness, like I learned more about people through observing than through experiencing them. And I wish I kept that balance growing up, because I feel like I came up with a lot of assumptions about people, and that kind of had my perception warped on forming different relationships. Because if I see someone who's like similar to like some I've seen or heard, like I just automatically have an assumption. So
Yeah, you start generalizing.
yeah, I just wish I experienced more. Was more open to experiencing new energies. Because I was so protective of mine. I just wish I would just let the guard down a bit more.
I kind of wish I did the opposite. And I don't find myself to be too extroverted. I always say I'm like introverted, extroverted, because I will enter a room being an introvert and then I will walk out deciding if I wanted to be an extrovert that day. Like it's almost damn near a decision to be like, okay, social, let's be extroverted. And I think I would have. I said it to my manager today. I said it's funny, the part of me that I'm adopting that's my mother's is I always looked at my mom and I was like, how do people tell me that she's nice? Like she's not a nice, like she's really mean. Like she's really mean. She's really sharp. Like she can be really judgy. Like she can be really rude. And then I look at myself and I'm like, yo, you can be all those things. Like you're sharp. Like you're sarcastic as hell. Like you don't identify with being a nice person because I don't know. My first thing is to crack a joke before being like, oh, I love your whatever. That's just in my nature. But it's the bleeding heart that I have. So it's like I will always do like nice gestures or be present for people. And it's allowing the wrong people in my space or allowing people that like other people in my space are sort of alluding to like, why is this person still there? Why do you still allow this person to have access to you? Like this person is not like you. There's a part of you that knows this person isn't suitable for you, but you have this weird obligation to them that you're not breaking and working through. And it's like, for why? Like time and time again, and it showed it is not working for you. Why are you still trying with this? So I think that's more so like I was the opposite on that end, where I wish I did differently. And I feel like my idea or perception of people and relationships, which is a theme that my therapist always says comes up in our sessions, would have been different and would have helped me along the way. Just, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that, now I feel like Jeff, I don't know if I even made sense.
Yeah. I think I'm enjoying life like way more though. Now that I like have understanding of myself and understanding what kind of what life is about, I think I am enjoying it way more than I did when I was younger.
Do you think that's because you settled more into the reality of what life is about? Like, I feel like we had an idea or a fantasy growing up, right? And I think we were chasing that. And in the process of chasing that in our early 20s, we started realizing that it's not that, right? Even, it doesn't matter what it is. Like, for example, right? I'll use myself as an example, like the music industry. Like, when I first started this shit, let me tell you, my perception of what it meant to be a rapper was totally a fucking like fantasy. Like I just like I had the idea of you just, you know what I'm saying, you gonna make one record that's gonna be fire and you're just gonna get all this money and like you're just gonna be like, it's just so not that for everybody, right? There's different levels to it. It's just when you're actually in it, you actually see the structure of the industry. You see where people fall. There's so many different roles to play. And it's like that reality didn't hit until you start actually engaging in that thing or actually start doing whatever it is that you were, trying to pursue.
I don't know. Like I just when the veil came down for me and shit felt real. I don't know if there's a specific moment I can pinpoint to, but there was a level of comfort because it's like when you're living that fantasy world, you're always going to keep imagining something new. And when that doesn't keep happening, it's like you're going to eventually come back to earth and realize that, okay, shit is just not how it's supposed to be. So it's like, I guess for me, when I have like, I feel most comfortable when I have full context and clarity of what's going on. With any situation, when I'm having a conversation, I feel like I have full understanding of who you guys are. I feel my most comfortable self around you. So it's like, that kind of happened with life. When I have full understanding that like, I can dictate and move chess pieces a certain way to get me in certain positions, but to know that it's bigger than me, it made me more comfortable with like what's next. Because it's like it's kind of feels like less pressure.
Yeah,
I get you.
All I gotta do is put in half the work. The universe will handle the rest. You know, and that made me more comfortable and makes me even more happier to get up every day to know that like what is next for me may not be exactly what I want, but I know something's coming for me. That unpredictableness of life is really appealing to me.
I think it's a matter of unpredictable with like a goal or a dream in a sense, because that's how you kind of enjoy the journey more, because you don't know how you're going to get to what it is that you think you want, but you're still going to go through that journey regardless. And I think what started like my depression, well, not started, but like the major moment for me in my depression and anxiety was after college and trying to obtain this ridiculous like vision, pressure, society, family, parents were putting on me. I put on myself mainly. And then it was like, it's not happening that way. Like, you're going to have to let it go. Are you going to be stuck here? Like, it's just not panning out the way that you thought. Life is not panning out the way that you thought. So stop thinking about what you want your life to pan out to be and just enjoy the moments to like get there. Is this a new goal of yours? Sure. What's the timeline? Roughly this, because I don't know anymore. But when it comes, I'm going to be ready because this is what I want. But I can't put a timeline on it anymore. I used to say the same thing. Like, when I'm 25, that's when I'm going to get back in my next relationship. No, there's not the one I claim to myself.
Yeah, if it happens, it happens. And that's like ties back to what I was trying to say earlier about the music thing. Is like once I saw what it really took, I actually had less anxiety.
Yeah.
I had less anxiety. I had less fear because I'm just like, oh, okay, I can do it at this level. I can finesse it and do it like this. Like it wasn't so abstract anymore.
Yeah.
It was like, and I became more at peace with what it really meant to be a musician. And then I realized too that particularly in this industry, that sometimes musicians don't even make that much money from their music itself.
Yeah.
They have other businesses and other things other ventures that literally finance their lifestyle, and they just are essentially entrepreneurs who are talented, right? They make music and they just make money from other things. So it was just like, it took a lot of pressure off trying to be Lil Wayne, trying to be Drake. You know what I'm saying? These are once in a lifetime careers. We're watching history in real time. So it was so unfair for me to put those expectations and those, on myself, because it's just like, man, like, how realistic is it that you're going to accomplish the exact same things as these people? Like, and it's not trying to be a Debbie Downer on myself, but it's being realistic, right? It's just like, you can't break the same records. Do you even have enough time? You know what I mean? Think about when these people started to when they finally made it. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
and I feel like it's okay. It's okay to still look to them and be like, yo, you're my inspiration. I'm working towards it. But it's okay if I'm not you, but I keep working towards it, because then what I reap and what I create is natural.
It's natural.
And then the people that are like, it's made for, will gravitate towards it.
Exactly.
And if you met them, they would tell you, don't follow me. Like they'd probably tell you, like, don't look at me that way. Like, probably look within yourself.
You have to
own that.
Yourself. Like,
own yourself as that one-on-one. Because I could promise you, all these niggas, Drake, Wayne, they have probably were obviously inspired by other people, but they always looked at themselves as better.
Of course.
Like, they owned their individuality, their uniqueness early on, and that's what gravitated them into where they're at today.
They took risks. They took chances.
Risk, yeah. That's also, I wish I did more. I took more risk.
I took less risk.
I took hella risk.
Yeah, I was like, I wish I took less risk.
I don't know, like, in terms of just like, I don't know. I still want to. I still want to like go skydiving and stuff like that. Like, I had an opportunity to do that when I was younger. Never did it.
Risky for me.
I want to,
Different kind of risk. Baby.
But this is an example. I just wish I'd I don't know. But I was thinking when we were when you were talking, I don't know why this thought came to my head. I wonder if we would have been friends if we were younger, like when we were kids. Like, I was thinking, like, because we connect now. But if we had met earlier in life at any points during these journeys when we were figuring shit out, would we have connected on this level?
And I'm not even trying to be funny. There's a strong possibility that not, because our brains, like, it was at the formation then, but it wasn't fully like mindset, like, all of our mindsets are aligned, but how? Because we've had similar experiences, similar journeys, better understandings, where we're talking the same language now. I wasn't speaking like this. Like, I kind of had an inkling, but I didn't know how to speak like this back then. Mm-hmm. And the people I was speaking to kind of spoke like how I was, or yeah, the way I was speaking back then, I was around people who spoke that way as well. The difference is the reason why I'm no longer with those people is they are still speaking that way and they haven't learned how to change their language up. So since you haven't changed your language up, your mindset up, like I can't talk with y'all anymore. Like
Communication.
I can't even think of how to talk back into that time. Like this is all that is said here. Like, wow, I feel stagnant. Y'all don't feel stagnant? That's cool. So I'm gonna go over here because this is where I'm like challenged when I think differently. Like I've grown up.
Yeah.
And that's just the reason why I say like maybe not. Like I don't think I was mature enough then or grown enough then to be in like to have these conversations, or I don't know, to even see or hear each other properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. I don't know. Like I was a mature kid, but I don't think I
Not to
was.
this level.
Yeah, not to this level at all. Like, cause it's just experiences. That's all it was. It's just certain things I didn't know because I didn't experience it. It's crazy how they say experiences is your greatest teacher, but it really is. Like there's certain things I know. Like I wouldn't be who I am right now if I didn't go through those things. I wouldn't know what I know now if I didn't go through those things. So I don't know. I feel like at that age, I only cared about having fun. I didn't care about healing people.
Fact.
I did not give a fuck
I
about.
don't even know what that meant.
Hello, I was
Yeah.
probably intoxicating people.
Yeah,
Like, sorry,
I did
y'all.
not
So
care
sorry.
about society. I didn't give a fuck about none of that shit. Nigga, pass me the weed, nigga.
Like when I asked Mac, like, when was the first time you heard the word therapy? Like, I was thinking about that for myself. Like, when did I learn about depression? Because it wasn't
Right.
in high school. It
Right.
wasn't in college.
Right.
And it's just like, when do these terms enter my system? And how do I know what they mean? But I know how it makes me feel. And it's just, I don't know. I do a lot of self-reflecting, guys. I really do. And I've been learning, I just learn a lot about myself every day. And I don't know, I encourage that to everyone. Take a day or a few moments in your day just to look within, figure out what's going on, do some tinkering, and move forward.
I love self-reflection. I do it. I could be high for hours by myself.
You got to be high?
No, I don't.
But it helps.
Yeah, it does. It allows me to just really dive into my mind and zone in. And I have the greatest conversations with myself.
Yeah.
I have the greatest revelations with myself.
Oh, the greatest.
I sometimes hate. I wonder if this happens to you. I sometimes hate when I'm driving and I have my high revelations because I want to sit there and be like, what the fuck? And it's like, oh, wait, there's a truck behind me. I can't sit in this moment too long. You got to look at the road. So it's also learning when and where to have those fucking revelations, but they come strong. And I feel like when they come strong, they're overpowering a little bit.
Yeah, there's been times
because
I
it
had to
feels
pull over.
out of, yeah, it feels hella out of world. Like there was one time when I literally had to like call someone and was like, yo, you just got to talk. Like I keep coming in and out. Like I'm having out of body experiences like back to back right now. It's powerful.
There's been times I had to pull over because I just had such powerful thoughts, like whatever it might have been. And I just like, you ever had thoughts and visions so powerful you just wanted to sit down and be in them?
Yeah.
And like, don't do anything but just visualize them shits and just feel how you feel in those visions and those thoughts. Like that shit, it's just powerful. The mind is so powerful because it's more entertaining than a television.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It's so much more. Like I literally can do that shit for hours.
But that means you're a visionary.
I am. Absolutely.
We said it so quick and confident. Come on, confidence. That's that 29 energy.
You feel me?
You can literally create a whole reality, like just if you just think about it, and you'll start to see it, like good and bad. Trust me. The mind, man. I'm just grateful to be here. Like I don't know. Like I was
gonna be like, this episode is not sponsored by Your Mind.
that'd be a great brand name, I think. At 19, at 18, I just never thought this would be my reality, and it's just the way it ended up. I stumbled here, but we made it, and it feels really, really good to have a purpose. We all have one, but to recognize my purpose and to be
a moment. Sorry, I didn't cut you off.
I'm done. I was just rambling.
No, your thought made me think. Your thought made me think about. So I had a mentor. Love this mentor, and I had her when I was 21 or 22, one of those ages. And she would introduce me to people who are like cordial acquaintances to me now and say, Like, this is, my intern, blah, blah, blah. Watch out for her. She's my next up. And she moved out of the city. And she's coming back to the city to do, like, she has, like, pop-up dinners that she hosts or whatever. So she's doing one, and she hit me up to, like, pull a staff together and, like, lead a staff. And, like, effortlessly, I was able to, like, get it done. And then when we were talking on the phone about something, like, another opportunity popped up, and she was like, yeah, put this on your radar because I have to come back to you for this, that, and the third. And just having, like, I told my best friend who knew her because she was also on a project I was doing with her as well, who ironically, she's also on a project I'm doing for someone else as well. And she has said to me, she was like, yeah, she said that to you, and less than 10 years later, you are her next up. Like, you're her go-to person whenever she's coming back to the city she left, because she trusts the keys to you. And you were able to, like, continue building new things for yourself. And she had told me that once on the phone when we prayed together about, like, my mom, losing my mom. She was like, I've enjoyed watching you and, like, seeing how much you've, like, developed yourself. And to hear that from my mentor, like, she was my blueprint. Like, I was learning. She was giving me advice and tips along the way. Like, she did pour into me, and I poured into her. I helped her grow. She needed assistance at the time. And her assistance was essentially my, like, real life homework. Like, no, this is a real business. This is a real person. These are your real ideas that you're pitching, and you're watching them being taken and, like, celebrated. Like, you learned, and now you're betting on yourself, and you're trusting yourself with your ideas. Like, before, I'd be timid with my ideas and then watch someone else fucking do it because I was too afraid. I didn't have the confidence to be like, no, I think this is a good idea and I could double down on it. Or we can talk about it and, like, develop a better one. And now I'm feeling more comfortable to be like, you know what's fire? What if you? And then seeing people's actual joy, like, yo, that is fire. I have no idea how I start my tangents today, so I apologize to everyone.
I have a side note that I want to mention. If you were to, like, come into any situation with full confidence, I wouldn't think you were an insecure person. Like, you can finesse. Like, you would be able to, like, that's just, I'm not even saying that to be nice. It's just like,
Oh, but you're the nice one here. So.
I am. But yeah, like, when you say certain things, like, it's just funny because you speak with such conviction. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a very powerful tool in confidence, is speaking with conviction. And it's like, I don't know. It's just like when you talk about things, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like you definitely know what you're talking about. Even when you say, like, I don't know what I'm talking about.
I really know.
That's
like,
what I'm saying. But it's like,
like, I be dead ass when I say it. Like, yo, I don't know if y'all want to take my advice.
But
I
it's
don't know
like,
what the fuck I'm saying.
I don't know what it is, but it's just like, I don't know, something about the way you speak though. It's just like, you just want to listen. You're like, I feel like you don't know. She'll figure it out. Like, that's the feeling I get. Like, no, she'll figure it out. I believe in her. I don't know.
Because maybe your introverted nature, I think when you speak, you're not going to waste a word. You're not going to just say something for the hell of it. So maybe that's what you're feeling like. Because she's maybe has sat with these thoughts, she's not going to waste her time by not expressing something impactful.
I think that's really good. And I think that's why I let you guys lead a lot when you speak. Now I'm giving the fucking listeners or a little, like, tips and shit. Because I think you're so good at articulating that I get to absorb it and be like, ooh, here's an example because I'm visual. So let me paint a picture with what you guys are saying. Or paint a picture with a question to get you guys to give, like, I guess what it is that not to say I'm trying to manipulate it to hear what I want to hear, but to hear your insight and perspectives to see is it something that I didn't consider and think about so you can change my mindset
I get what you're saying.
in a more open way, or to see if, like, am I bugging for the mindset that I had? But if I see, like, y'all agree or whatever, it's like, there's cosigns, but cosigns from logical people, not cosigns from yes men. And I think that's a huge difference in recognizing who's in your corner and who you're speaking to about certain things as well.
Oh, that's very intelligent. So you'll ask certain questions and you'll present it objectively, but it really might be for something for you.
All the time.
That's so smart. That's smart.
I think that's a form of, like, dictating your comfort as well. I think. Like, I think the real, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, the real masters of conversation will dictate the conversation to flow for their comfort, so they're in control. So you'll say something, or you'll make a certain joke to lead the person down a certain path. That's what I do, at least. Maybe that's like manipulation, but I think that's why we can bounce off each other so well.
I think all three of us do that.
We're flowing in each other's comfort and just making this big ass trail of comfort.
I think that's also why we can almost read each other's minds, because it's just like when you say certain things, I like know what you're setting it up to be.
Right.
It's just like I know when Petty Penguin's about to strike.
About to strike.
You don't. So
I like the image of my mind, like a penguin like on a roof at night, like lightning flashing.
We didn't even do highs and lows, bro. I fucking met a penguin.
Literally?
What?
Yes,
Where?
in Long Island Aquarium,
Oh wow.
and it was like the best experience of my life. And like,
Take a picture?
of course,
Did it
I'll show
stink?
you after. So no, they do poop a lot, and I didn't realize that.
Whoa.
Like, a lot.
Home, penguin poop home.
No, I did try to take the penguin home, and they were like, "Yeah, there's people who like want penguins as pets." And like my sister and my father, I felt the eyes beating, and they were like, "You can't admit if you're one of those people." And I was like, I am one of those people. So yes, but then like the penguin we got, he was like doofy, and I was like, "Oh my god, if I were to have like a penguin baby, like this would be my penguin." Sorry, I was really excited about the penguin.
I had a high too. I got my ancestry results back.
Talk about it.
85% African.
Okay.
I could get the exact numbers if you give me a second.
85%.
It was
Honestly,
I didn't.
After this,
Yeah, I didn't.
we'll play some Essence.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I'll send the results to the group chat. It's gonna take me a little while to find it. But I went into this ancestry thing as a form for just trying to get further understanding of myself and where I come from and stuff like that. And to see 85% African, it was like different regions. I think the most was like the Congo or something like that. I got like 27%. And it was really interesting, just really interesting to see, and matching with other people who like, I always thought my family was so small. But Ancestry like literally opened up my mind. I got other people who are connected to my tree reaching out to me. And it's just like, that was reassuring and refreshing to feel that like, yo, I may have someone who's in my family who I didn't know, who was like my first cousin, who may have gone through things that I've gone through, who can really understand me on a familial level as well as like a personal level. So I'm going to try to make these connections. I'm going to try to see where this can go and just expand my family outside of my immediate family I thought I always had. And it just feels really, really good to know I come from somewhere. I have a tribe. And it was just a really reassuring and refreshing experience. I got a little emotional after the fact, just seeing all those branches off the tree connecting to me and connecting to my mom and stuff. So it was really, really cool. And I encourage people, if you're just curious, just do it. Just go send the swab, and a couple of weeks you'll get the information back, and you'll realize that your family is bigger than what you've experienced your entire life.
I need to do my ancestry, man. I really want to see the fuck. Like, I really want to see that lineage. I really do.
It's not that expensive. It doesn't take that long.
I just haven't done it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
For sure. I just was trying to find, like, through this self-discovery process, I feel like this was a good medium to further expand upon that journey. And I'm really proud and honored, truthfully.
I think I'm only hesitant because in my head I'm related to Cleopatra, and if it tells me I'm not, I'm gonna be like really upset. So like it gets me through some days.
That's probably gonna be the first branch that says specifically you are related to Cleopatra.
Right, like that's
Right.
all I really want to see. So if I
Right.
don't see that, I'm gonna be like, reality sucks.
What has been like a high or low for you coming into 29 this week? Like today's Thursday.
Your birthday.
I know what you want to say.
Yo, this guy knows me so well. It's fucking nuts. You
could lie.
Don't lie.
It's a podcast. The audience will never know.
We don't lie in our 29s.
I'm not gonna lie,
Okay.
but
Tell the truth, sir.
I'll be kind of vague because I don't want to jinx myself. But I made a pretty cool connection with somebody this week. Went on a nice date last night. It was cool. And I'm not gonna overinvest. Like Mac helped me realize that was one of my chronic issues. I'm taking my time. But I gotta say, it's very funny how the universe provides. It was like not, and I'll get even deeper into it. I had this thing where I was afraid to date single moms. I'll be honest. I was afraid. I felt like I couldn't handle the responsibility. I had this whole idea in my head of what it would be, right? Like, no, too much responsibility, whatever, whatever. But really, it depends on the situation, depends on the individual. There's just so many factors that go into why you shouldn't be afraid to date somebody who has a child, rather if it's a single father or a single mom. And I also realized that in certain situations, those type of women might have the nurturing nature that I look for.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the biggest difference because I've never dated somebody with it. I didn't know
about
this.
that.
I didn't know how amazing some single moms
Yeah, all
are.
the fucking fruit snacks, bro.
Yeah, they take care of motherfuckers, bro.
I
They,
like the greatest snacks.
I be staying hydrated, like everything. And I'm just like, dang, this is cool. This is cool. So yeah, like I think that's coming with maturity too. And I had this conversation with K Rock, which is like one of my best friends from JOTF, and he was just because he's a stepdad, and he was telling me how like, yo, like I'm happy to see this growth in real time because there was a time where I just didn't see that for myself, and then I just had to open myself up to like the idea of maybe I'm blocking my own blessings by telling myself that I wouldn't date somebody with kids. Because I've met a lot of amazing women, and it'd be times where it'd be like, oh, I don't know, she has a kid. You know what I mean? And it's just like, and I'm not afraid to admit that because it's not that I was judging her or anything, because like it's not about that. It's about what I thought I'd be ready for and what I'd be willing to contribute. Like, am I ready to step in and potentially be a stepfather?
Yeah.
Like, help raise somebody else's child or be in that person's life in that capacity. I had to grow into that. It's not something I realistically could rush into. It was just like, okay, I need to know what this possibly could be like. And once I had that realization, it was very ironic too, because the person that I actually went on a date with, I initially she kind of didn't want to deal with me because I told her like I was looking to date somebody who didn't have kids, because I'm very vocal about that at that time when I had that mindset. And she's like, you know what? It's fine. Don't worry about it, because I don't want to ever feel like I'm being settled for. I know what I have
You
to
better go off,
offer.
sis. I like her already.
I was like, I'm not gonna lie. When she said that, even initially, it was just like, damn, like it was
Explain
so
myself.
real. It was so real, but I wasn't even thinking that. I was just thinking like, yo, she knows what she got. I had mad respect for her off that. I was just like, you really schooled me, like, and I was like, and I even admitted to her, I'm like, damn, I could be blocking my own. She was like, heavy on blocking your own blessings, and I was just like, damn, time went by, and then I tried dating people, and yeah, that didn't work. You know what I'm saying? There was crazy dating stories that I have, and one common thread was that the people I was dealing with, they had very selfish mentalities, like very selfish mentalities. So like meeting this person and having a whole different perspective, like I don't know, I'm going on a tangent right now because I literally wouldn't have known to find somebody like this because of my fear of dating somebody with kids. And sometimes the best things are on the other side of fear. Like it's really like that's real. And so far, this is one of the best connections I've had this year so far. So it's just like, imagine if I wasn't open to that, I would have missed out on. And that same person, I eventually circled back and I was like, hey, what's up?
I grew up now.
I grew
Right.
up. I had. I learned my
29
lesson. I was like, I learned my lesson. I was just like, yo, I learned that, you know what? There'd be some really good women who are single moms in the world.
My mom was one of them, so yeah.
Yeah, there are. There's some, man. There, in my opinion, they're just some of the most powerful. And it's not to knock anybody without kids. It's not to do that. But I'm empowering the single moms out there.
No, for real.
They have to go so much harder.
There's a level of resilience they inherit.
Yes,
They
a
had
level
to.
of resilience, a level of hustle, a level of selflessness. They have to
Hi, Mom.
put someone else before themselves. And that shit, honestly, is attractive as fuck.
One word you mentioned that I wanted to highlight is nurturing.
Yes.
There's a level of nurturing and attention that you need, that you require to
Yes.
maintain happy in that relationship. But coming into a relationship with a woman with a child, 75 to like 85% of our energy is going towards the child. There's be a little bit left for you. Is that something you're willing to accept? Is it something you're willing to adjust to? You're literally going to be compromising what you desire based off an interest you have in somebody.
So
That's something you can adjust to.
So I disagree.
I was gonna say I don't see it as
totally
a compromise.
disagree.
I see it as an extension.
I definitely disagree with that statement because for one, she knows how to separate adult time and baby time. Right? Like baby time is like, yo, her daughter is gonna get that. But she also prioritizes time for us. Like she makes sure that we have time to hang out, time to talk, time to text, whatever it is. And she's just naturally nurturing. And the reason I say that is a good thing is because when she's not taking care of her daughter, she still has that nurturing itch. And guess who she applies it to when her daughter's not around?
The extension.
Exactly. So whenever it's like this. I might not get the quantity of time, but I am damn sure getting the quality of time. And that's more important to me. I'm a busy person anyway. I'm not trying to be up under you every day, all day. It'd be nice, but I got to get this money. But when I'm done getting this money and we together, I want your undivided attention and I want all the smoke.
Right.
And she gives me that, so...
Right, and we spoke about this. I wasn't trying to challenge you, but I guess like there's a certain perception that I've gone into with investing in women with a child. It's just like, will I be able to get what I desire to when you have to give your undivided and all love to your child? It's like, is there going to be enough balance for that? But I think it's dependent on the interests of the woman.
Yes.
Time management is going to be key in that connection, and I know it's going to work out, but it's just like. The level of patience you have to maintain those waters is different. It requires a strong mind.
It does require a strong mind.
I think you got that.
And it also requires, selflessness on my part too, right? I have to understand there's another human being that comes before me in this relationship, right? I can't always, I think everything I've been dealing with dating wise has prepared me for this situation because I used to have no patience even for small things. Like if you weren't texting me back right away, I'd be like, okay, the fuck's going on? You know what I mean? Like
You said more than that.
whatever. But now I just got so much patience. I don't know, man. It really it's so cliche, but it's true. It just comes with age, yo. It's just like, yo, I'm a grown ass man now. I get it. Like you got mad shit going on. If you can't text me right now, it's whatever. I know when you text me, we're going to have a great conversation whenever you do get back. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I had to readjust myself. There's adjustments I had to make. I was, honestly, I got to admit, I was immature. I was immature in certain ways. You know what I'm saying? I had to admit that to myself because I was, I used to amp myself, I'm a grown ass man. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, then I had to ask myself, like, are you though? Like, are you like, look how you're interacting with certain women, like, and then I started dating grown ass women, like really like mature grown ass women, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I need to make an adjustment. I'm asking for shit that doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? It's just like
I have unrealistic expectations.
Unrealistic expectations that were leading to high disappointment, and I was basically torturing myself.
The growth.
Yes. And now it's just like, yo, it's just I'm in a healthier mindset. I have just way more patience with life itself, and just I don't know, man. I don't give a fuck.
I feel like,
Mood.
like life moves a bit slower when you get older in a way. When you kind of you take more time to like view the scenery.
But I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I used to think being fast paced was the shit. Like live fast, die young. And
Right?
I'm like,
YOLO.
live like normal pace and like die old. Like
Right.
live with naps. Can we have a nap?
Yes.
I want to take a nap, y'all.
Oh, I love naps. This girl loves naps too. She's talking about nap dates.
Oh,
took a
I
nap
had those
earlier.
before.
Yes, nap dates. I'm like,
them.
awesome.
Or my favorite is like, oh, what time are you coming? So I'm just gonna put my phone on loud because I'm gonna take a nap before you get here. But just keep calling. I will answer.
Oh
Just
my
keep
God.
calling.
It was a crime for them to remove nap time from us as we progressed through the school system.
They gave it at the worst age. Like, get the little kids' energy the fuck up out of here.
Yeah.
Have them
Right.
come home fucking tired
Yeah.
to eat, wash their ass, and go to fuck sleep.
Yeah.
And then when we're older, it's like, so after lunch,
What's up? We taking
quick
a nap?
25.
If I was taking a nap in high school, I would have probably done a lot better. Yeah, honestly.
Shit in college.
hilarious.
No, nap through a fucking final. Like, well, I'm here. Sorry.
Yeah. Would you date someone like a man with, or woman, depending on the day, with like a child?
God damn, did you overhear my conversations yesterday? I don't know if I would date a woman with a child because I feel like that's not an experience I'm prepped for. Like I've only dated like one woman, to be like completely honest, and that was still just a lot for me. Not in a negative way, but it just like, not to say that I didn't feel too comfortable, but it kind of didn't, like, and that's why it didn't work out. Like, still fucking really great friends to this day, but that's why it didn't work out. Like, I just didn't see myself as comfortable, and it wasn't any particular fault or reason to anything else but my comfort level and what my desires were. I've dated loosely a man with children. When I was younger, of course, I was opposed to it because I'm young. Like, you don't want to be 17 dating a guy with a kid. Like, I'm a kid.
Yeah.
The reason why I would never be opposed to it is my father did that with my mother. So my sister is adopted by my father. You would never fucking know. I mean, you would know because my sister is chocolatey and my father is white. When you see them, like, but you wouldn't be able to tell the fucking difference if we had like the same biological father. And admiring that and watching that and like seeing the dynamic, like, one, that's why I take men I date very seriously, because if I want to procreate, I want to ensure that I have a man as invested as my father was in his two daughters, his two black fucking daughters, because we're black first at the end of the day, and he knows that. It would really have to be the dynamic between him and his child, as well as what is the situation with the mother of your child. And I don't mean it like, are you still playing house? Is that and the third? It's, where's your level of communication with each other? How do you guys communicate with each other? Is there still a level of respect there on both ends? Because maybe, she's in the wrong and she is acting up to that stereotype. That's not something I want to be a part of. I do not want someone knocking on my door in the and third. You don't not have a peaceful household. I'm not entering this space.
Yes.
You could be an amazing person, but that's bringing turmoil that I didn't ask for into my
Talk
life.
about it.
That's unfair to me.
Yes.
If you have an applicable situation, all right, like let's talk about it. But like, I also don't want to meet your child without meeting your child's mother. I do want to give that person their respect that they do deserve. I think they do, and I hate when it's looked at that way. Like, this is my child. Yes, you will go through me first. I don't put my child in a random school and not meet their teacher. So if you're going to be around, I would like to meet you maybe the same time you're meeting the child too.
I agree. And I'm not mad at that. And I think that's so intelligent because that's my perspective now, right? I had to be more, first off, I had to be open to dating people with kids.
Right.
That was the first step. I had to fucking get rid of that stigma. Once I did that, then I started thinking about ways of being more strategic and to analyze the different scenarios and picking and choosing which scenario works best for me, right? Like you said, it has to be a peaceful situation where you and the baby's father are co-parenting without arguing, without having a toxic relationship. Obviously, there can't be any unfinished business between you two. There, you know what I'm saying? I would never date somebody who says they're single but they're living with their baby daddy.
Yeah, no, absolutely
Like,
not. That's a hell fucking no for me.
Hell fucking no. Like, I'm not dumb. I wasn't born yesterday. Like, I'm not doing that. So I agree. You have to understand what works for you.
Your
You're gonna do
You have to
boundaries,
understand your boundaries with
and it's nothing wrong with having boundaries and certain standards. Like, for me, yes, I'm open to dating a woman with a child, but now I have standards with that, right? Personally, no more than one. You know what I'm saying? Like, one and done. I'm just saying, at least, you know what I mean? Like, I have like, for me, I'm not.
Your boundaries are for you.
For me, these are for me. Like, like at least one. You know what I'm saying? Definitely have to be peaceful, co-parenting. And what else can I think of? Like, yeah, I wouldn't want to be into anything that was unfinished. Like, if you have feelings for your baby's father or whatever, if he cheated and you broke up with him because of that, but you still love him, whatever, like, deal with that, address that.
Yeah.
So I did it. My last relationship was with a woman who had a child.
You said you did not what?
I did.
Did
I did
Date.
date someone
Oh,
with
okay,
a
okay,
child.
okay.
In my experience, she had a great relationship with her daughter, but her baby father was a different story. So I would always catch the strays. I would come into the house fresh off an argument I didn't even know happened, and I would catch the strays. And I just wasn't. I don't think I. Looking back, I don't think I was just ready to deal with that because I never once had a conversation with her baby father, but I was hear about the conversation she would had, and it was always negative. And I would catch the strays of her being upset with her daughter. I just feel like I wasn't ready for that situation. I went into that situation being optimistic, thinking I could handle it, being willing to deal with all that came with it, and I just wasn't mature enough for it. I wasn't expecting all of that. I mean, that was an isolated situation. It may be different if I had maybe met someone else who maybe had a healthy relationship with a big father, whatever. There were definitely other things that played into it as well that made it a bit hard to deal with, but it was the most unique experience I've ever had. I don't think I would do it again, though.
I respect that.
I think that was enough.
I respect that. I remember that relationship. You telling me about it.
Yeah.
There was a lot of unhealthy variables that were not necessarily in your control.
Yeah,
There was
that's a nice way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was, there was some factors that were in existence before you got there. So I understand that.
Yeah. But I definitely respect you. One, of course, stepping up and, investing in this woman in a genuine way. But it takes a lot to want to genuinely invest in a child's life that's not yours. That's just this is a bold thing to do. Like my stepfather, he did it. Like,
I also
just
feel
dope.
like
It's
at
just
the
so
same
dope.
time though, there's okay, so I look at it like there's there's steps to this, right? Like it's not like I'm gonna immediately meet her daughter and start hanging out with her and her daughter.
Right.
You have to know the mom first, right? Nothing happens without there being a relationship with the mom. So before I could even start formulating the way I would enter her child's life, I have to focus on how I'm entering this woman's life and establishing and make sure we have a strong foundation first.
Yes.
Because, right, I have to love her in order to love her daughter, So I feel like once that happens, I feel like loving her daughter, it's a baby. She's so damn cute. You know what I'm saying? What's there not to love? You know what I mean? So to me, that to me is not the hard part. The baby is a baby. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I don't have any kids, but I know a lot about kids. I have a lot of little cousins, a lot of nieces and nephews, and it's just I know for a fact that I have the psychological capabilities of raising a child. I could raise a kid. I know right from wrong. I understand what it's like to be a kid. I know what it feels like. I still remember clearly what it felt like when I was 5 years old. I know what it felt like when I was a teenager. I feel like I would be such a fucking awesome dad. I'd be so down to earth. I'd be so open. I'd let you just be real with me. I'd give you real fucking advice. I wouldn't control you. I would guide you. I'd tell you real consequences about your decisions and still let you choose what you want to do. I just feel like I'd be such a good dad. I feel like I'd be such a good dad. I'm not worried about that part. I just want to make sure that I really, really love the mom, that is genuine, because I would never want to enter that child's life to be removed.
I love that. I really do. Honestly, I love hearing that, especially coming out of a black male, because I feel like that's not heard enough. But I think, and it's weird because I'm clearly not a product of a single parent household, but knowing the father I have did that for a child. Knowing a father I have did that for his wife. Being a product of that, to me, I'm that's fucking fire.
It's fire, yo. It's fire. And I had to grow into that mentality. I wasn't always this way. I had to really, 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 because you know what it was? It was spending enough time by myself in my apartment and asking myself, damn, I would love to come home and just have dinner with me, another person. And you know what? I wouldn't mind if there was a kid. You know what I mean? I'm by myself. I want a family. You know what I'm saying? So it's just once I started breaking those barriers and started visualizing that possibility, and I really just literally sat down, was self-reflecting, high as fuck, and I was just imagining myself being a stepdad and just being a cool ass pops. I just see myself being yo, I'm gonna ask my dad, Rod, man.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know. Like, I'm
We need to see that
excited.
more of y'all being excited. And I think that's what always warms my heart. Like, low key, thinking back then when you thought about like dating a guy with a kid, no funny shit. You thought it was some hood shit. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just
That's the
knocked up some
stigma.
chick. Like,
It's the
yeah.
stigma.
But then you get to see them and like how involved they are in their kids' life and the creative things they do. Like, I celebrate my male friends that are fucking like dads. I hang out with my male friends and their children sometimes. Like, just
Because
and
there's some good parents out here, man.
Yeah.
Just because the parents aren't together doesn't always mean that they're bad individually.
exactly.
I had to learn that
Exactly.
because that was an assumption I had. It was a stigma, right? Oh, why y'all not together? Like, and that was my biggest problem, that I was making an assumption about the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you were a single mom, so like, what, did he cheat on you? What do y'all like? What happened? Like, you know what I'm saying? Or what did you just? Was it a mistake? Like,
Right.
no, but there's
When you're young and impressionable, any type of information you get is what you carry into adulthood until you unlearn. Like,
yes.
part of growing is unlearning. So we had to really realize and open up our minds and unlearn the fact that people just go through shit.
People go
but
through
that doesn't
shit,
mean
bro.
like people aren't like people go through shit, but their shit that they go through isn't a reflection of who they are.
No, it's not. And you can't judge by the situation. You know, you just really can't. Like this, like I would have missed out on such a good person had I just judged from the outside. Like we had a whole conversation last night where she told me the whole story about how her daughter came into this world. It's such a unique situation. I'm just like, yo, if I didn't take the time to fucking talk to you, I would have been such an idiot.
Yeah.
Because I really did have my own story in my head. And then I spoke and I'm just like, yo, and I'm not gonna give the details about her story, but when she told me like what it was, that, you know what I'm saying, it was just like a small part of it is just that she was struggling to have kids. So when she got this, it was unexpected, but she wasn't gonna get rid of her daughter because she always wanted a child and she thought she couldn't have kids. So it's like, why wouldn't she want to hold on to that? That to me was just like, that should make my heart melt. I was just like, wow, you really want to be a mom.
That's the highlight part of it too, is once you get the understanding.
Yes.
And you have to learn to like inquire to understand.
You have to. You have to ask the right questions. You know, she made it very clear. It's like, yo, it had nothing to do about the baby father. Like, it didn't. Like, it was about the baby. Like, I wanted a daughter, like, so bad. Because I didn't know if I would ever be able to produce another one. I was just like, and that's something men will never be able to understand.
Yeah.
That women, there's certain women, bro, like they feel like they really, really want to have a kid, a child. If they don't feel complete. Like they don't. Some women really feel like that. And it's to the extent where I've met women that, you know, they might have been in a situation where maybe the father wasn't 100% on board and they've given them the option to walk away.
That was my mom with my sister. She knew she didn't want to stay married to her husband. She got married, like, putting my mom's business out there. And mom, don't trip me in my dream. Thanks. She didn't want to be married to my her ex-husband, my sister's father, but she knew she really wanted a baby, and she got married to him to get out of the situation she was in with her mother, to not put like all my family business out there. But she did it because, and she said it to my face, she said, I wanted to be a mom. I knew I wanted to be a mom, and I wasn't sure. So I took my opportunity to be a mom. And my mom is like, she's a mom. She was everyone's mom.
Those are the best moms. The ones who
Who
genuinely want to be a mom.
Being a mom.
Yes. Like it's crazy because, like I said, and it's not to knock any woman who doesn't have kids or who doesn't want to have kids. That's your personal choice. But I have to give power to the women who are moms, who want to be moms. Like it's a different level of selflessness, a different level of maturity. It's just a different level of womanhood, in my opinion. And observing that, I was just like, God, like that shit is fucking sexy.
Because
It is.
Grooming and shaping a little
Right.
human.
Like, yo, and you're doing it with so much finesse.
Yeah.
an
you know?
intention. And it's
And
like,
intention, with so much passion and care. Like, I love seeing a woman be a woman. Like, that is amazing to me.
I love reflecting on, so when we talked about like this year and what has it shown you, made you think of course it made me think of the dynamic of me and my mother, because that is the theme of this year. But when I think back to like those experiences. And even as extreme as they were, like, lady, you did not need to be that extreme in this one situation. Like, you could have calmed down like 3 levels. But even to see, like, to finally understand the morals she was putting in place, the like ethic she was forming, the qualities that I get quote unquote praised for or looked to that are similar or align up with like her strengths, looking at her weaknesses. And when I reflect about the people I've walked away from or severed ties with, and feeling so like, no, I'm confident with my decision. Like, this is my hill. I'm dying on it. I don't give a fuck, y'all. Like, I have no remorse. Like, I'm just not cool with this person anymore. By learning from her mistakes of having people in her life a little bit too long, or that were like using her, and just like really tying together like my tattoo saying I am my mother's child, and like really understanding the essence of it and the depth of it. Like, my mother helped raise this person that people see when I enter the room. Like, she helped raise that. Or the idea of being guided and being a dope dad. I texted my dad when it finally clicked with me to give myself financial freedom this week. And the plan I have set in motion with talking to our financial advisor, I told my dad, I was like, this is what Phil and I, like, oops, sorry to put this out there. This is what this person and I discussed. This is what I'm going to do with my money moving forward. And then my dad's text back was like simple, like, good, this is a smart plan. And I text him back saying, thank you for always like saying it, even though it still wasn't clicking, knowing that it wasn't clicking, allowing me to make my own mistakes, and just cheering me on. Like, when I finally got to the finish line, like, okay, so now you're here. I am so happy you're finally here. It took you like 9 fucking years, but we're here. Okay, so now that we're here, let's talk about this.
That's a good parent.
Right, and I gave him his flowers. Like, of course you want to give your parents your flowers whenever you, like, were supposed to.
Right.
But in that moment, I just felt so moved to share that with him. Well, because clearly I can't. I can. They're just different when I have those moments with my mother. And I've been doing them a lot this year and throughout the healing process. But trying to have those moments with my dad now. Like, you're still here, so let me be able to share this with you. And how I finally made that connection, how this self-reflection, or how I finally understood what you were trying to teach me just wasn't landing.
Yeah, it's all about timing, honestly. And sometimes, right, the information we get doesn't make sense if we're not ready to utilize it.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, I feel like even if it doesn't make sense to you, you still don't forget it. Certain pieces of information you get from your parents, it'll click.
Because repetition is the father of learning, and we know our parents sound like broken records. They say certain things. Like, seriously. And it could be a good thing or a bad thing sometimes, too, because I've realized, too, tracing back to where my fear of dating single moms came from, it's because of the way my dad instilled in me to not have kids until I'm married. And, I mean, yeah, I get that, but by really, really putting that into my mind, you kind of conversely created a stigma for the people who didn't get married before they had kids. So now he created, I'm not going to blame it all on him, but, he helped provoke a mentality that made me feel like I was a better because I didn't have kids without being married yet. And in reality, it does not make you better or worse. It literally doesn't. Like, it doesn't. There's single people with no kids who are shitty as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
As fuck. And by firsthand experienced it. And that was one of the biggest realizations that made me realize, okay, I need to be open to dating single moms. Because, like...
You're unlearning and relearning.
Yeah. Because, like I said, I've met people who had no kids, and they were just horrible people.
Almost like, please don't have kids.
Right. Like, you're
make
so
another
fucking
one
horrible.
of you, please.
No more spawns.
I've just been thinking about, like, I'm also like a visual person in a way. Like, everything we're talking about just is like producing certain images in my head. I'm thinking about like slab of concrete and flowers like eventually growing out of it. Like, I feel like that's what life is. It's just like, it looks shitty at first, but like throughout the experiences in life, the rain comes down, the flowers eventually bloom, and now we're here at this level of maturity and understanding. Like roses grown from the concrete. Like, that's what I think life is in a way. It's a slow burn, but like we eventually blossom into like this beautiful understanding of reality and understanding and comfort within ourselves.
Yes.
It's like we had to go through like so much shit to get here.
Yeah.
and I'm just like hearing everybody talk. I'm just like, I'm happy that we made it through. You know, we made it through our shit to get here, because there's so many people who look like us who don't, who either took their lives away themselves or got it taken away through a misfortunate situation. And it's just, I don't know, I'm just feeling really full. I'm just really proud. I'm proud of you guys. You know, I'm happy that you guys made it to this level of understanding and comfort within yourselves. And it won't stop.
It feels good.
You know, we will revisit an episode like this in 10 years from now. This is like I guess a check-in episode, I guess.
It feels good, yo. Maturity feels so fucking
That's
good.
sexy.
Yes.
Sexy.
I feel so attractive. Like, I do. And not just physically. Like, I feel like my mentality and my personality is attractive. I've worked on myself. Like, I've come to to think like a grown-ass man. Like,
Right.
I feel great. I feel so secure.
Yeah.
I feel like now I could walk into the cookout and be like, "What's good, young blood?" You feel me? Like,
Definitely not yet. By the way, I can see you with like a fucking a toothpick in your mouth.
oh yeah, that's
Fucking one of those fedoras.
Oh, please don't.
Oh no, not the fedora.
I definitely see you with a tan
I'm-
fedora.
I'm not wearing a fedora.
Fucking
Nah, I do like fedoras, but I wouldn't wear a fedora with a toothpick.
yeah, I don't know why I see a toothpick.
Bad down the southern state.
That'd be crazy.
I wish
though.
we had another shot we could cheers to, like 30. or
I don't
something,
need
or
no more
29.
of that.
No, you can
shit.
finish
Oh,
mine.
I'm
No, it's your
good.
birthday.
No,
Like you have to because it's your birthday.
No, but you actually
Like,
have
you
to do it though.
Like you actually don't have a.
No, but if-
What's wrong with you
no, but like
people?
we
be
actually
alright.
can't leave until it's done.
Oh, and
my
also just I can
God.
give you birthday punches at that.
Oh my god!
I actually
they're
did
still
say that.
doing
You
that.
did, yeah.
I did say that.
We're gonna do it for 29 because why not?
You guys are
As a
ridiculous.
matter of fact, if you don't take that, you're gonna get 31 punches.
So now I'm being physically threatened on the show.
I didn't hear that.
What's going on here,
We just told you.
motherfuckers?
Right?
All right.
You said you want to call people young blood. Young bloods would take the shot.
Wait, were you planning
shit.
were you planning on punching him on air?
On air, you savages.
This is definitely going on TikTok. If it's going to happen.
I'm taking a shot.
Like,
It's a sit.
Right. That's a
oh,
little-
what you gonna say?
That's you pussy and then you didn't finish it.
I'm saying.
But you pussy because you're not even taking it. So take
Oh,
it. If it's just a sip, take
but
it.
I'm finishing yours though.
If it's a sip, then take it.
I am
You
going
still
to.
talking
I love
though.
what I started.
You fucking evil
Yeah, but you still ain't
bastard.
take it though.
As I,
Still not taking it.
You talking about you a grown man and shit, not taking a fucking shot.
can y'all shut up?
You have a countdown going.
You mad grown but can't even do it. You mad old. Like, fuck out of here. Talk about you about to be a stepfather.
Yo, I can't laugh and drink this shit. I'm gonna die. So please.
Die, die.
Yo. Why? As I sip the funk.
Look at that face.
Yo, now you exaggerating.
Get a zoom in of
You
that.
OD exaggerating.
Bro, this shit tastes like rubbing alcohol. It's strong.
Right.
You grown. You a
Oh.
grown ass man.
I love how there was just enough for us to like really indulge in it though. Like whoever was drinking that before us, they had a good time. They're probably on the street right now.
No, that shit's strong. Like I can imagine a couple shots of that get me, fucking lit.
What shots?
Right.
I'm going right in the rum punch.
That's what happens at WTF Media Studios. The Funk, please sponsor us.
You know what? I'm about to email them.
I'm hungry.
I can't wait to go eat. It's gonna be great. I don't
I
even
didn't
know
mean
what
to
kind
say.
of food.
I didn't mean to say it like that, but it is a fact.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of food they have there, but I'm fucking hungry.
I mean, we have a former employee who got fired probably for stealing food. Like, can you tell us? What happened?
Oh, shade.
First, I thought
I think I'm about to get punched too. It's like my birthday.
that.
That was crazy.
Yeah, do
Why
they
did I
have
leave
food?
them? I don't remember why I left them.
Have you ever been fired? Has anyone in this room been
Oh
fired?
yeah.
I've definitely been
Oh
fired.
yeah, I've been fired. Fuck the place I got fired from. I fucking hated it.
Never been fired. I always quit.
Oh,
Or not came back.
okay.
Or not came back.
Whatever.
I guess if you want to consider a temp job, the contract ending up, maybe consider firing because they had the choice to keep me and they didn't keep me.
Right.
My job.
You know,
Never been fired.
never been fired.
Always resigned.
Always responsible.
Boss
Looks
status.
good. Looks better that way.
Wow. So you've never been on unemployment?
I was actually. I applied to unemployment and I got accepted. And the day before I was about to hit, I got a new job.
Damn. So this nigga's just like
So technically, no, but yes.
Damn. Okay.
I've only gotten on it once because of COVID, but I have all times to get on it. I was on the party train.
Do you have any do y'all really think, like, I really believe that we're about to have another lockdown in December? Does anyone else feel that way
Fuck
in
that.
any way?
I don't even want to think like that. Fuck that.
I don't
do.
mind as long as I get to celebrate my birthday, y'all. So I don't give a fuck.
Well, then again, if I'm not in the house alone, it won't be that bad.
This nigga.
I'm just saying. But I really,
Shaq.
Tired of
up.
niggas.
I'm just saying.
You be shacked up.
Hey, baby.
Come through, girl. I'm just saying. That's the only way I wouldn't mind. But I don't want the fucking world to shut back down. Fuck that. I'm trying to stay out here, get this money. I mean, even if it does, I'll still be able to work. But
Right.
I don't know. I don't want to go through that shit again, bro. I really don't.
This new variant ain't playing games. The Delta. The Delta.
I don't know. I understand the severity, but I'm so tired of it. I'm tired of COVID. I'm fucking tired of it. I'm tired of the panty. Like, I'm tired of all this shit. I'm tired of talking about vaccinations. Like, I'm tired. I don't want to say I don't care because that sounds, not politically correct.
But you don't care.
I don't give a
You literally just said you don't care.
I just don't.
In so many words.
I want people to be safe. I want people to take care of themselves. I do. I don't want anybody to die from this or anything. But I'm just so tired of talking about this shit. I really am. I'm tired. I don't care.
All right. Well, that was the last topic I had in my brain.
I felt it too, and I was just like, I don't got it.
Oh, man.
When am I ranting? I'm done. Y'all can kill me or not.
I enjoyed this episode up until this point. Maybe this won't even be in it.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
You could just
I don't like editing. I don't like doing shit sometimes, and I'm gonna keep this
all
in.
the
I don't
time.
Yeah, I'm a lazy person sometimes.
Intelligent people tend to be lazy.
Yeah, because our brains do so much work that like your body's like, look, you just made me think of like 6 master plans. I just want to lay down.
Like,
Right.
fam, just lay the fuck down. Any final words for the people? Any shout outs? Any don't sleep? Anything people shouldn't sleep on?
Don't sleep on the birthday boy first and foremost.
I would say never mind.
What?
Never mind.
You about to say some disrespectful shit.
No, it wasn't disrespectful.
What?
It was a good joke, but I didn't formally properly how to say it, so I just shut it down.
You know I like jokes, man.
Yeah, I
I
know.
was waiting for that. Don't sleep. I would just say don't sleep on the fact that, you've been able to still see another day. I know it sounds cliche. I've been fully cliches today. But the reason I say that is because I'll never forget, I grew up with people that will never see this age. I grew up with people that I've seen pass away early, before they even got a chance to see what life was about. So my biggest motivation is just to honor those people by enjoying my life and doing the shit that I want to do now in all aspects, because life's short, bro. I'm 29 and I hope to live at least until 100. I do want to be up to 100 because I want to see the next century. But that's all I can say, yo. Be grateful for your life because there's some people that will definitely trade spots with you. Definitely trade spots with you. I'll never forget. That's why I don't take shit for granted, bro. It's like, I think that's also part of the maturity for me. I'm at the point where everything that I deal with, I compare it to life or death. Like everything, to the smallest, to the biggest. I just compare it to life, and I'm just like, it's not that serious. I'm not gonna die from this. This is not gonna, I'm good. That right there just makes me feel like, yo, I'm good. So that's all I say. Don't sleep on being grateful for your life.
I guess I would just say, don't be afraid to self-reflect. Like when you go within, sometimes you may find out some stuff about yourself that you may initially not be comfortable with, but it's definitely something you need to realize and accept, whether it's good or bad, your perception of good or bad about yourself, whatever. Just don't sleep on the self-reflection process because it's definitely a key ingredient to growth.
Facts.
And happiness within your relationship you have with yourself, relationship you have with others, whether someone intimately, whatever. Self-reflection is a key ingredient to peace, so don't sleep on that. And don't sleep on Introverted Intuition. If you want to follow us on social media, at Introverted Pod on Twitter, at Introverted Intuition Pod on Instagram, youtube.com/Introverted Intuition. Follow us on TikTok. We going crazy on there. I guess you just type in Introverted Intuition. But all this information, as well as our personal social medias and stuff that we have going on, will be, as usual, in the bio for this episode. And we thank you so much for listening and or watching. And we will see you next time. Yes.
On the next episode of Introverted Intuition. I don't know why I felt like you was about to say that. Like, all right.
That'd be dope. But yes. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
You heard?